What's up everybody, Diego Prime here, back again with another video. Happy Easter everyone. But before I proceed to this video, I do want to apologize if I was not able to do any new content on my channel. That is because I was so busy with my schedule, and here I am back, and for this video I will be giving my predictions for WrestleMania 37. So without further ado, let's begin with the predictions. So to get things started, the first match that I will predict is for the Raw Tag Team Championships. AJ Styles and Omos making his in-ring debut at WrestleMania, facing off against Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, The New Day. I am not actually a big fan of this storyline, but all I have to say, to win this match, it's gonna be AJ Styles and Omos. I'm not actually surprised that they are officially a tag team for this match, but the New Day already have a good championship reign in the WWE. So for this match, I would go with AJ Styles and Omos to win the Raw Tag Team Championships. So our next match that I will predict is Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. For this match, I would go with Cesaro, because I would love to see Cesaro have a build-up as a face, because he just turned face like a few months back against Daniel Bryan, and for me, this is actually one of the most heated rivalries right now on SmackDown. You know, just Cesaro doing the swing against Seth Rollins every week on SmackDown. So for this match, I would go with Cesaro picking up the win against Seth Rollins. So this next match that I will predict is the battle between former best friends that turn into bitter rivalries again. And what I'm talking about is Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. So it's been years since we watched this feud. It just came back again, and for the first time, they're going to face each other at WrestleMania. So for this match, I would go with Kevin Owens. I'm not saying this because Kevin Owens is now my favorite WWE superstar, but for me, it's just the same thing if you're watching this rivalry, but the only difference is Kevin Owens is already a face and Sami Zayn is already a heel. But it would make more sense if Kevin Owens will win this match as a face against Sami Zayn. So for this match, I choose Kevin Owens to win this match. Next up, we have the Intercontinental Championship match between Apollo Crews squaring off against the current Intercontinental Champion Big E. Honestly, I feel disappointed during their match at Fastlane, specifically how it ends, and then Apollo Crews just keeps on attacking Big E after the match, and that thing happened also a few weeks back on SmackDown. So for this match, I would go with Apollo Crews. That is because if the plan is Apollo Crews maintaining himself as a heel, and he wants to build up more as a heel, and I would say that he must win the Intercontinental Championship against Big E. So I choose Apollo Crews to win the Intercontinental Championship. Next on the card is, for me, this match or this rivalry either is not too exciting, and this is Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match. I would go with Braun Strowman for this match, and this is the first time he had a rivalry against Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon, for me, honestly, I understand that he has a forte when it comes to these matches, whether it is a steel cage match, Hell in a Cell match, no disqualification match, a street fight, etc. But I haven't seen Shane McMahon lose majority of these certain type of matches. But I saw that he lost to Undertaker at WrestleMania 32 in a Hell in a Cell match. Of course, you guys watched that match. So, it's kind of sucks for me that if Shane McMahon returned as a heel again, and then he was challenged by Braun Strowman to this type of match. For me, Braun was gonna take the win against Shane McMahon. So I would go with Braun Strowman for this match. Next on the card is a celebrity versus a WWE superstar in this match for WrestleMania, and it is Grammy Award winning rapper Bad Bunny squaring off against The Miz. I'm not really a fan when it comes to these matches, so this is kind of unpredictable, to be honest. That is because, of course, The Miz having John Morrison on his corner, and then Bad Bunny having Damian Priest on his corner. So, for this match, I would go probably with Bad Bunny. I know this is kind of funny because even though he's not really a WWE superstar, but I think this is it could be happy with the fans if Bad Bunny will see him win against The Miz, because this is also a heated rivalry for the past few weeks on Raw. So my prediction for this match is Bad Bunny. So yeah, Bad Bunny will win against The Miz. Up next, we have the United States Championship between the Celtic Warrior Sheamus against the current United States Champion, the original bro, Riddle. So I choose Sheamus to win this match to be crowned the new United States Champion, because we haven't seen Sheamus winning a singles championship for the past couple of years. If I can remember, he won a WWE championship that was, I think, way back 2015 or 2016 or something like that. But the last time we saw him was winning the tag team championships with Cesaro, which is the Bar at that time, Raw and SmackDown tag team championships. So since Sheamus, I guess he is out of the title picture in the WWE, but he is still having a great run in his career. I guess Sheamus must take the win for this match, and I truly believe that Riddle is having a good run as well with the United States Championship when he captured it at Fastlane against Keith Lee and Bobby Lashley. So for this match, I would go with Sheamus to be crowned the new United States Champion. Next up, we have the Raw Women's Championship match between the challenger Rhea Ripley squaring off against the current Raw Women's Champion, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. This is not surprising at all, to be honest. Supposedly, when Charlotte Flair was challenging Asuka for the Raw Women's title for this year's WrestleMania, but due to the fact that Charlotte Flair was tested positive for COVID-19 and she's gonna be out for the meantime, when Rhea Ripley made her debut on Raw, which was 2 weeks ago, and she was asking if she wants to face Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania, and it's not really surprising at all for me. Speaking of Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, of course we also saw their match at last year's WrestleMania for the NXT Women's Championship, and Charlotte Flair won that match. So for this match, for the Raw Women's Championship match, I would go with Rhea Ripley because she needs to bounce back for this match. As you know, Rhea Ripley lost to Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship at last year's WrestleMania. So she needs to bounce back, winning the Raw Women's Championship this year against Asuka for WrestleMania. So my prediction is Rhea Ripley to be crowned the new Raw Women's Champion. Up next is still the women's division match, and this time it is the SmackDown Women's Championship match between the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair, facing off against the current SmackDown Women's Champion, the legit boss, Sasha Banks. I would go with Bianca Belair to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. For me, it will be deserving for Bianca Belair because I really like her persona, the EST of WWE, and it really fits for her and become the new champion in the WWE in the women's division. And all I could say is when she won the women's Royal Rumble match back in January, I told myself that I guess Bianca Belair should win the SmackDown Women's Champion for the first time in her career. So for this match, I would go with Bianca Belair to be crowned the new SmackDown Women's Champion, the EST of WWE. Next match on the card is this rivalry that happened for many months now, and it is The Fiend versus Randy Orton. I kind of dislike the fact the Randy Orton just having a continuous feud against Alexa Bliss, and when Randy Orton just burned The Fiend at TLC during the last moments of the match. And I'm actually just a big fan of the rivalry between The Fiend and Randy Orton. So I would go with The Fiend for this match because he needs a revenge for this against Randy Orton. And this is not the first time that The Fiend and Randy Orton were gonna face each other for WrestleMania, and that the last time was at WrestleMania 33, and that was for the WWE Championship, and Randy Orton won that match. So now Bray Wyatt, as you all know, the Fiend image, I would go with The Fiend winning this match against Randy Orton, and I guess this storyline would end with the conclusion that The Fiend will win against Randy Orton. So I would go with The Fiend. So guys, we are now down to the last two matches that I'm going to predict for this year's WrestleMania, and the championship match that I'm going to predict first is for the WWE Championship, and it is the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre squaring off against the almighty WWE Champion Bobby Lashley. And it is actually their rematch from Backlash way back in June last year. With this storyline, I actually thought that it will be a triple threat match for this WWE Championship. That was Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley versus the current WWE Champion at the time was The Miz. But unfortunately, he had a short title reign with this loss against Bobby Lashley for this title during Monday Night Raw. And I'm still happy about that. It will be just a singles match between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. And for this match, I would go with Drew McIntyre winning the WWE Championship for the third time in his career. Lashley is having, he's just having a good title reign as well. Despite that he is now with MVP, and I think it's possible that the Hurt Business might be done for good when he attacked Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, and I guess MVP is just the only guy in his corner right now. But still I would go with Drew McIntyre for this match, winning the WWE Championship for the third time at WrestleMania. So guys, we're down now to the last match that I'm going to predict for this year's WrestleMania, and it is a triple threat match for the Universal Championship. Unfortunately guys, as you can see, I'm holding a red Universal Championship because it was supposedly a blue Universal Championship, but I still don't have the SmackDown Universal Championship, so stay tuned for that. So back to the topic guys. Triple threat match for the Universal Championship. The winner of the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble, the Rated R Superstar Edge, Daniel Bryan, and the current Universal Champion, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. This is gonna be an epic match so far, so to speak. Those three guys have a great comeback stories for this match. First, Edge. Edge returned to the WWE after 9 years. That was Edge had to relinquish the World Heavyweight Championship at the time due to the fact that he had a neck injury. Daniel Bryan, he retired at 2016. That is because he had a lot of injuries in his career, so he is forced to retire at that time. Roman Reigns, he had to relinquish this specific championship, the Universal Championship. That is because he had diagnosed with leukemia, and he returned to Monday Night Raw after several months. So for this match, for this triple threat match for the Universal Championship, when it comes to a great comeback story, I must say it must be Edge. With that, Edge will win the Universal Championship at WrestleMania, and that is my prediction. Edge, because he had a lot of ups and downs in his career, and he wants to retire. He wants to return so badly, just because that he never lost a championship in the first place due to the fact that he had a neck injury. And I must say that, and I believe this is one of the greatest comeback stories in WWE, or I must say the greatest comeback story in the WWE, and that must be Edge. So for this triple threat match for the Universal Championship, I predict Edge to win the Universal Championship at WrestleMania, to add this accomplishment in his another career in the WWE. And yeah, I must say Edge must win the Universal Championship against Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So guys, that is it for my predictions for WrestleMania 37, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. And who are your predictions for this year's WrestleMania? Leave it in the comments below. So guys, thank you so much for watching this prediction for WrestleMania 37. Please like this video if you like it, comment. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Diego Prime, and also hit the notification bell so you will be notified on my next videos. This is Diego Prime, and I'm very excited for WrestleMania 37, and it is back in business, guys. See you guys next time. Peace.